Achan đã tới rồi nên mời các đạo hữu ổn định chỗ ngồi ạ. Cô Hà đã sẵn sàng chưa ạ? Là cô sẽ hỏi hay là các cô sẽ hỏi ạ? Vâng. Hai bé ngoan nhá, để cho bắt đầu pháp đàm nhá. Shall we start?
Dạ mô Phật, con kính chào Achan và các vị thầy. Con xin tiếp nối về cái đề tài hơi thở buổi sáng á.
Dạ, xin lỗi ạ. Có tiếng loa ngoài. Không biết là có ai đang bật loa ngoài ạ?
Tắt.
Alo. Bây giờ vẫn còn tiếng loa ngoài nhỉ? Hình như máy của thầy hay sao đúng không? Vâng, không có cái tiếng loa ngoài ạ.
Tắt rồi.
Tắt là tắt mic nhưng mà cái loa nó vẫn phát ra bên ngoài.
Đúng không ạ?
Bây giờ được rồi ạ. Vâng, con mời cô ạ.
Dạ. Dạ con xin tiếp đề tài về hơi thở. Thì như con thì cái việc hành thiền nó cũng không phải là tích cực, nên là cũng không đạt được đến một cái gì gọi là những cái kinh nghiệm kỳ đặc. Nhưng mà với như các cô ở đây thì chắc là các cô cũng có những cái duyên gì đó, bởi vì con thì chưa hành thiền đến cái mức độ đó nên là con cũng không được hiểu rõ là việc đó nó có được dẫn dắt bởi hiểu đúng hay chỉ là những cái kinh nghiệm và những ý niệm riêng. Nhưng mà khi mà các vị hành thiền thì cũng được các vị thầy hay là các vị thiền sư có những lời ấn chứng như là đạt được đến cận định hay là an chỉ định, hoặc là những cái kinh nghiệm rất là thù thắng như là các nimitta. Thì con có hỏi lại về những cái kinh nghiệm ấy, xem hiểu gì về nó, thì không có sự hồi đáp đúng như sự suy xét về các đặc tính. Nên là con cũng nghĩ đây là một cái cơ hội rất là tốt đẹp khi các vị thầy ở đây sẽ soi sáng về những cái kinh nghiệm ấy dưới ánh sáng của chánh kiến. Nên con xin Achan và các vị thầy giúp cho các bạn ở đây ạ.
When I myself was practicing meditation experiences, but many of my fellow friends, they practice meditation and their meditation teachers certify that they have reached absorption or access concentration or nimitta, like counter nimitta, something like that. And when I talk to them and I ask them about the understanding of those experiences, I didn't get any answer that is in accordance to what we learn about the realities. So I think now it's a good opportunity for them to have discussion with you from our teachers, so that their misunderstanding can be corrected. Thank you.
Well, it would be a good opportunity for them if they were here. But we also remember that people who believe they have reached a certain attainment find it very difficult to consider that that was not the case. And so it is likely that there would be very strong clinging to the view that the attainment has been reached, and they might find it difficult to listen to a teaching, and they might find it difficult to understand. But by all means, if they are here, let them speak.
Vâng. Dạ mời cô ạ. Có thể ngồi đây cho các vị có thể nhìn được rõ hơn không ạ?
Dạ thôi không cần ạ.
Vì nó sẽ dễ hơn cho các vị không phải quay đầu sang một bên. Con mời cô ạ. Cẩn thận cái chỗ kia.
Thế tôi con ngồi đây.
Cô ngồi đây ạ.
Dạ mô Phật, con chào và thầy ạ. Con thì cũng biết hành thiền cũng thời gian lâu rồi, nhưng mà về giáo lý Đức Phật thì con cũng không phải là người mà được học nhiều, nên cái sự hiểu của con có thể là nó cũng rất là hạn chế. Nhưng mà từ cái hành thiền thì con thấy, khi con vào hành thiền con thấy rất lạ là theo hơi thở thì con chỉ thấy rõ là con nhìn cái hơi thở là cái sự chuyển động một cách tự nhiên ở từ cái thân con, mà con nhìn thấy những cái phần nó nhỏ li ti mà nó thành như những cái hơi bốc ra và bay vào, mà những cái phần tử nó rất là nhỏ. Thì con cũng chỉ biết trình bày là con nhìn hơi thở nó như thế, và con nhìn thấy là nó thay đổi, nó không giống nhau. Lúc thì nó có dài hơn, lúc thì nó có ngắn hơn. Thì khi con quay về với lại giáo lý của Đức Phật thì trong cái kinh Tứ Niệm xứ có nói về Đức Phật có nói về là cái quán hơi thở, rồi biết là hơi thở dài và hơi thở ngắn. Thở ra dài, ta đang thở, ta thở ra dài, và ta đang thở vào dài, rồi thở ra dài, rồi thở vào ngắn, thở ra ngắn. Thì con cũng thấy là khi con thực hành thì con thấy như thế thôi. Nhưng bây giờ vào như hôm nay lần đầu tiên con dự pháp đàn này thì con mới vỡ được ra. Buổi sáng hôm nay thì con bảo thế con cũng chưa nhìn thấy rõ kỹ được những cái sát na mà khi Ajahn nói thì con muốn hiểu rõ hơn nữa. Chứ còn con cũng không, khi mà các thầy con nói gì thì con chỉ biết con thực hành như thế, còn con cũng chẳng nghĩ gì cả. Con cũng không đưa một cái suy nghĩ gì là về là thế này thế nọ thế kia đâu ạ. Dạ vâng. Rồi hôm nay con có tập huấn được.
Con nói xong chưa để con dịch ạ? So she said that I didn't learn much about the teachings. I just had some. I have practiced for quite a long time, but didn't learn much about the teaching. So my understanding is limited. And she said that when she was practicing meditation and with the breath as object, she could see that they were just like particles moving. And when she learned about the sutta, that the Buddha talked about the long breath and the short breath and exhale and inhale, so she just practices like that. And when the teachers told her to do this or to do that, or certify this and that, she just noticed it, but didn't have much ideas or hold any particular opinion about it. But today, when she was listening to your explanation about the breath in the morning, she realized that she didn't understand or didn't experience such reality at each moment. So now she would like to hear more explanation from you so she can have more understanding.
The teachings or the word of the Buddha. Okay. Can you hear me? The words of the Buddha, it's not like the other's word at all. Translate? Not necessary. Okay. That's why we begin to listen to the words of the Buddha to understand whether there is any understanding of anything at all. For example, consider carefully if there is no understanding the truth of this moment, and we just talk about whatever about samadhi or breath or whatever, without any understanding of this moment, can there be the understanding of what is there in the meditation center, experience such and such reality? That's why it has to be now to begin to consider again and again and again each word of the Buddha. It can be moment of begin to consider carefully, is this moment real? This very moment, is it real?
Trong cái khoảnh khắc này là có thực nữa.
Tức là câu hỏi là có là thực đúng không ạ? Yes.
What is it? Did Buddha say anything about it? This morning, we talk about the truth of the moment, that it's the moment of experiencing an object. For example, right now, it's moment of seeing, which sees, and it's moment of thinking, which thinks, different moments, by different conditions. Just think about at moment when we ate lunch, having lunch. What did you talk about? While eating, having lunch, what did you talk about?
Trưa nay ạ, lúc mình ăn trưa thì mình nói về gì ạ?
And now, different moments. Now we talk about the truth, the word of the Buddha. the word of the Buddha is not just to be remembered, it has to be understood no matter when and where. So not enough understanding to condition moment of thinking and talking again about what is heard in the morning, about what is real, the moment of seeing, no matter while we are eating, having lunch, or even right now, there is seeing. Is it enough to understand it? Enough to have no thought about it and then having the thought about it? That must be conditioned. The different moment while we have lunch anytime, no thought about the Dhamma at all, no talk about the word of Dhamma, but sometimes even at moment of having lunch, someone might just bring about what is heard about that very moment. Are they different? The moment having no thought about the truth at lunch, and the moment of even just thinking about it. What is the difference? We learn about the truth now, but while we're having lunch, no thought about it at all. But sometimes it can be later in life, we don't know. There can be moment of talking about the truth, even while we're having lunch. Is that right? Are there different moments? The moment of no thought about lunch, no thought about the truth while having lunch, and just having conversation or talking or discussion on the truth while having lunch. Different or not? The truth is the truth. At moment of enjoy lunch, no thought about the truth. And even at that moment, there can be moment of thinking and talking and discussing, not about the food, but what about Dhamma? That's why no one thought about it. But we talk about sati. It seems like that is the understanding of sati enough. But at moment of having lunch, without thinking, considering about what we have learned or heard, to understand the moment of no matter it's having lunch or not, in this moment. That's why we talk about sati, just the word. But what condition the moment of thinking about the truth, no matter while we eat or while we dress, while we shop, or whatever is even right now. What condition is there? To condition moment of thinking, not forgetting what has been heard about it's there already, just like now. That's why sati is not just a word that we remember what is sati, not forgetting what? The truth. Not just forgetting something at home, something like that, but it's moment of not thinking about the truth. And the moment of thinking, considering about the truth, that is sati. So sati is moment of all kinds of kusala. We haven't heard about this word, and then we begin to hear kusala, any goodness, any wholesome citta or moment or speech or deeds. Without sati, it's impossible to arise. That's why we learn a little more about different realities, not just the word. Just heard the truth about sati. It's there at any moment of wholesome moment. Without it, what is there? Wholesome or unwholesome moment? That's why we learn to understand sati arises with each level of wholesomeness. Learn to understand the moment, thinking about the food and thinking about Dhamma, different moments. That's why no matter what level of sati, with understanding or without understanding, sati is a reality which not forgetting about wholesomeness. Little by little, just learn about what we heard, but at moment when whether it's there is not known. So right now, be truthful to the truth while we hear but not think or listen to the word of truth, just talking about other matters. What moment is sati and what moment is not sati. See, learn to understand the reality by conditions, because not forgetting arises has to be conditioned. It's the way to let go that I can do, or I will plan, or I will think such and such. There can be such moment by conditions, but that can be understood as well, that what is it? It's not I, so what is it? So just heard about the word. Realities are realities, not anyone. It doesn't belong to anyone at all. It is daily life to begin to have condition to think about what is said, to consider it more and more, little by little, to understand even different moments in life. Otherwise, is there sati now? If there's no thought about it, what is sati? Can there be the answer whether this moment is wholesome or unwholesome? Just from the book, the word, at moment of any kusala, speech or deeds, sati is that which does not forget about what is better, what is wholesome, and what is not wholesome. So now, at moment of having lunch, for example, if we talk about other subject, is it wholesome? Is it beneficial in life, which is so short? That's why not just hearing the word, but consider the truth, little by little, until there's more understanding of sati. That's why when we have the idea of going somewhere, what is it at that moment, and what do we do for? Understanding or no understanding at all, or just wanting to experience something different from now? And what is the benefit of just having different kind of reality to be known or realized? It arises and falls away. No understanding what it arises and falls away. Just the idea, I would like to experience that. So what's the purpose of going to meditation center? And at that moment of thinking about going there, what for? Any understanding of that very moment, or none at all? So what is the word of the Buddha? And what is meant by meditating or practicing? What is it? Does anyone can think about it? Without understanding the nature of each moment, even right now. There is seeing right. Meditate or go to meditation center. What for? No understanding of seeing, but go to meditation center to meditate, to get what? Something, or no understanding at all. Just take the word meditation, but in truth, what is that? That's why listen more and begin to understand how subtle it is. That's why Buddha took quite a long time to develop the parami, all kinds of wholesomeness. Otherwise, it must be unwholesome. Whether this moment is wholesome or unwholesome, see? And without any understanding at all, can it be more wholesome? That's why the question in the morning, am I good? Not good. No understanding. After seeing has risen and fallen away. See, understand more and more the truth, that how long there will be no condition for any unwholesome moment. To be true to the truth, only by conditions, without careful considering of the word of the Buddha about whatever is there. It's impossible to have any right understanding of the truth of what is there as it is. Are we now meditating?
Dạ, con thấy rằng là thiền có thể mọi lúc mọi nơi được ạ. Như lúc này cũng là thiền ạ. Để khi mình chú tâm để mình nhận biết thì đấy là thiền ạ.
According to my understanding, meditation can happen anywhere, anytime. So now there can be meditation as well. And when we focus on an object to be aware of it, then meditation is happening.
Lúc này mà con được nghe Trang giảng đấy thì là con cũng đang nhận như là con đang hành thiền đấy ạ.
As I am listening to Ajahn now, it is like when I am meditating.
Con nhận ra cái là nó là vận hành tự nhiên của các pháp. Khi con nghe những lời mà Ajahn nói đấy thì con cũng nhận ra được ngay trong khoảnh khắc này ấy, mà con cũng đã ngộ được ra một đôi chút ấy. Nếu như mở được ra cho con một cái để mà con có được cái tư duy nó sáng hơn.
I can realize that it is now the natural working of Dhamma. Dhamma are happening naturally, and I can understand a little bit more, and it helped to clarify my understanding of things.
What is there at the meditation center or meditation? Meditating, what is there? What is meditation?
Khi con vào cái trung tâm thiền thì các thầy cũng chỉ hướng dẫn là ngồi yên tĩnh, và cũng hỏi là trong cái yên tĩnh đấy thì mình thấy như thế nào thế thôi ạ. Nó rất là đơn giản, mà mọi khi con thấy mọi thứ đều đơn giản.
The instructions that is given at meditation center is to sit still, and then the teachers ask us, when we sit still like this, what do we see? Or what do we see happening?
Can there be understanding if we don't sit still?
Dạ, con thấy nó cũng cái nhận biết thì ngồi yên cũng có thể biết, mà chuyển động cũng có thể biết.
I think that it can happen both when we sit still and when we are moving.
Can there be right understanding of what seeing is right now?
Chưa hiểu câu hỏi nữa mà.
Có thể có cái hiểu đúng về cái thấy ngay bây giờ không ạ?
Dạ, con cũng không biết như thế nào gọi là đúng hay sai, mà con chỉ nhìn thấy mọi thứ nó diễn ra.
I don't know what is a right understanding. I just see that everything is happening.
Can there be understanding right now? Or do we have to go somewhere? Or do we have to walk or sit or move?
Dạ,
Just right now, not moving at all.
ngay bây giờ là có.
So why do you go to meditation center? What for? While the right understanding can be now, no need to go anywhere at all. But without condition, can there be right understanding at will? And at the meditation center, is there right understanding? What? Of seeing or hearing? Yes, it's that just right now, anywhere. Because the point of going to meditation center is to understand seeing.
At the meditation center, is there a discussion of the Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha generally, or is it mainly following the instruction to practice?
Khi mà chúng con đến một cái trung tâm thiền thì nó có cái sự tập trung hơn và cả một cái tập thể. Cả một cái hội đàm thì chúng con cũng qua được nghe thì cũng là một cái sự học như ở trên lớp và được trao đổi pháp, trao đổi với nhau thì nó cũng vỡ ra những cái điều để mà con nhận biết. Thì con nghĩ mỗi một nơi trốn thì đều mình có được những điều mình học thêm ấy.
She didn't really answer to the question, but she said that at the meditation centers we gather together and opportunity for concentrate more. We do have some instructions from the teacher. And when we meet each other in a discussion like this, we hear a lot about the explanation of the Dhamma. So it's also useful. So she thinks that both way is good.
And just so we can understand, you mentioned that the teacher would tell you that you had reached certain attainments. I'm wondering if they were attainments of samatha or attainments of insight that you were told you had reached.
Dạ, con thì không nghĩ là đạt được ở một cái gì đó, một mức độ nào thì không biết, nhưng mà con thì quá trình thì hành thiền như thế nào thì con chỉ diễn tả ra cái mà con thấy khi thầy hỏi thôi. Và thì con cũng nghĩ mọi thứ nó đơn giản, mình thấy như nào, mình cảm nhận như thế nào thì mình mô tả lại như vậy. Còn thầy đánh giá ở mức nào thì không có đâu ạ. Dạ. Ví dụ như trong các bước thầy đặt ra, ví dụ là thầy bảo nhìn thấy ánh sáng, có thấy ánh sáng ở đó thì đúng, có ánh sáng ở đó thì con mới thấy được. Ví dụ như cái hơi thở thầy bảo tập trung ở mũi, thì con biết tập trung ở mũi, và khi tập trung ở mũi thì thấy cái gì thì con thấy cái gì con mô tả ra là như vậy. Sau đấy thì nó như thế nào nữa, và tiếp theo mỗi một ngày nó khác nhau như thế nào nữa thì con cũng chỉ mô tả như thế thôi. Thì đấy là những cái mà mình nhìn thấy thật. Còn nếu như mình không theo sự hướng dẫn của thầy thì có khi mình cũng không nhìn thấy như thế. Còn lúc mà đọc trong kinh điển thì đúng, con thấy nó cũng giống như là con hành thiền bên ngoài. Thì từ đấy con đối chiếu lại với lại kinh điển mà lời Đức Phật dạy trong kinh Tứ Niệm xứ thôi ạ, là về hơi thở, nhận biết cái hơi thở đấy như thế nào. Dạ.
So when I was at the meditation centers, he asked me to concentrate at the neutral. I did, and what I saw, I just told him what I saw. And all the experiences that I had, I compare to what is in the scriptures, and I think they are the same. And also I check my progress of practice according to the Satipatthana Sutta as well.
Well, I just want to make a short comment. Because it is not a normal and natural thing to do, anyone who meditates and puts a lot of effort into meditation will have experiences that are unusual, that seem special, that are not normal daily life experiences, like seeing light, for example, or other things. And it might be possible to find match to that in the teachings. But that doesn't mean that the things that were spoken of by the Buddha is what has been attained by the meditator. Because the path to the development of either samatha or insight has to begin with kusala and with understanding. And when a person starts meditating and following the instructions, it's not possible for that to be kusala. They think after a time, because the experience changes, that it must be kusala because it's so special. Kusala is not so special. Kusala is ordinary daily life and is conditioned by the previous accumulation of kusala and considering wisely the Buddha's teaching about either samatha or insight. And so once one is on a particular track, it's very difficult to pause and consider whether the beginning was right. Because if the beginning was not right, then what follows afterwards cannot be. And the beginning is always to do with hearing the Buddha's teaching and considering the true meaning of the words. not just take them at their superficial, at their surface meaning, but the meaning of the Dhamma is deep and subtle, as we know. So this is quite different from following instruction, isn't it? Following an instruction, as I say, can bring results, but those results would not be the same as the development of calm or insight based on an understanding of the true meaning of the Buddha's teaching.
Con tri ân thầy ạ.
That you don't know what is right understanding, but you just know what is happening. Is it possible to know what is happening or what is life now if there is no understanding? For example, if there is no understanding, if I ask these young ladies or I ask anyone who hasn't heard the teachings, they may say, I'm drawing a picture, or I'm walking, or I'm lifting my glass, or I'm listening to the discussion, because there's no understanding about what is real at this very moment. Without right understanding, it's impossible to know what is true now. Ajahn mentioned about seeing now. Usually there's the idea that I'm seeing and I can see the flowers and this is what is happening. But the understanding has to develop that actually at this moment, it's just seeing which sees, no one there at all. The right understanding is that all dhammas are anatta. No one can draw, no one can walk, no one can see, no one can hear, no one can think. Just different realities arising by conditions. Without the Buddha's teaching, even the very basic understanding about seeing now and what is seen, that which is visible, or touching now and that which is touched, the softness, it would be impossible to know because the idea of self is so deep, very deeply rooted. So without hearing and considering and developing understanding, whatever our ideas of practice and meditation will be the wrong way. The Buddha talked about the right Eightfold Path and the wrong Eightfold Path. So the right Eightfold Path begins with right understanding about dhammas that are conditioned now. The wrong Eightfold Path begins with the wrong idea that I can focus, I can concentrate, I can see, I can hear, I can decide what will be experienced at the next moment. This is the wrong path. So from the beginning, there has to be the considering and understanding about nama dhammas that experience an object and rupa dhammas, rupas that don't experience anything, to understand the distinction between those that experience, like seeing and hearing, and those that don't experience anything, like the visible object that is seen or the sound heard, in order to gradually let go of the idea that I can experience or something is experienced. And as the understanding becomes firmer and there's more and more understanding that no I to do anything, then there will be no idea of I should concentrate on an object, or I should focus on this particular subject, because what for? It's just the practice of following I concentrating, I focusing. But the Buddha didn't teach anyone to concentrate or focus on a particular object. He taught that concentration, ekagata, cetasika in Pali, arises at every moment with every citta. It focuses on an object by conditions, never by I trying to focus or I wishing to focus. For example, the moment of seeing now, the ekagata, the concentration, focuses on visible object, not because I choose to focus on visible object. At the moment of hearing, the concentration focuses on that object already, and it's gone so fast. By the time there's thinking about, oh, I would like to focus on that object or another one, countless cittas with countless concentrations have arisen and fallen away by conditions. Now there's hearing of sound, and so quickly the story, the idea of the words, the meaning, the people speaking, the people in the room, but it's actually just sound that is heard, that is conditioned. This is the natural working of Dhamma. Trying to focus on a different object from what the object condition now, it's not the natural working of Dhamma, because it's I that would like another object, or I that thinks if I focus on breath or some other subject, it will be more useful, but no understanding of what we spoke of this morning about how there can be wise considering of breath even now. There can be calm even now, with no breath now, no life, no opportunity to understand the Dhamma. And whatever arises, including breath, is gone in an instant. It's of no significance at all. Whether there is understanding of the reality of breath or the reality of softness here makes no difference, because the path is about the letting go of the clinging to I, the letting go of selecting a particular object, trying to experience a particular object, trying to have an attainment, trying to have a certain experience. Actually, this is the path of clinging and the wrong idea of I. And it's a very big burden. One thinks that this is something special, a special attainment. So there's clinging to having the experience again and again. And it takes one away from the natural working of Dhamma. One thinks that the more one meditates, the better, the more practicing, the more cutting off, the more sitting in silence, the better. But it's fake calm, fake understanding. It's not the real one. The real one has to develop at this very moment. So I think it's very brave and courageous of you to join us and share your experiences. In the end, no other teacher, not this Ajahn or your Ajahn or any other Ajahn, can tell us what the truth is at this moment is, or what the experience is. So just because the teacher says, okay, sounds excellent, certified, this level of attainment, to me it means nothing, because how can they know? How can they know the citta now? Can you know my citta at this moment? Can I know Ajahn citta at this moment? Can Ajahn know anyone's citta at this moment? Impossible. So there has to be the considering and understanding and beginning to know more about the truth now, the reality now as anatta, in order to let go these ideas of focusing and following a practice and wishing to have attainments again and again. It hinders the development of the right path. And even those in the Buddha's time who had great attainments, even for them, there had to be the letting go of all those attainments, all the clinging, to understand, seeing now, hearing now, without the understanding of reality, of no use at all. So consider more about dhammas now as anatta, because this is the only way. And for this, there has to be hearing a lot about what the realities are. I am doing something like lifting the microphone is not, it's a story. Anyone who has never heard the Buddha's teachings knows that conventionally I am lifting the microphone. But the truth is, no I, no microphone, just moments of touching, hardness that is touched, different dhammas arising and falling away.
Dạ, dạ, con cảm ơn cô Sarah. Dạ.
Many people here have had experiences in meditation centers, following practices, focusing on breath, and so on. So everyone appreciates what you're saying, and it's not easy to give up and to see that it's not the right way.
Dạ. 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 Con cảm ơn.
You have a very good friend at your side who encourages you to come here.
Có thêm câu hỏi nữa không ạ? Không thì sẽ chuyển cho một người tiếp theo ạ.
Con cảm ơn cha, cảm ơn cô, con cảm ơn thầy ạ. Dạ, con đã được sáng ra chút ạ. Dạ.
So Chú Hùng, Tiny Tam's father, wanted to ask the question.
Kính thưa bà Achan và ông John và bà Sarah, thì lúc đấy con được nghe bà hỏi là thiền là gì, thì con qua cái sự mà được nghe pháp và rút ra cái kinh nghiệm, có được các câu trả lời là mà cũng là cái sự hiểu của con. Thiền là sự nhận biết trong những khoảnh khắc có sự nhận biết pháp và do duyên sinh ra, thì đó là thiền.
So earlier you asked a question to the nun this morning. What is meditation, or that's now also what is meditation? And he would like to answer that question. According to my listening to the Dhamma and my understanding from that, I will answer that meditation is the moment of awareness, một cái khoảnh khắc mà nhận biết cái đang diễn ra, hay là nhận biết cái gì ạ?
Vào những khoảnh khắc đang diễn ra của những pháp mà do duyên sinh mà nhận biết.
It's the moment of awareness of the conditioned Dhamma.
moment of awareness, do you mean actually moment of awareness and understanding of the conditioned Dhamma?
Vâng.
And if it's a moment of understanding, why would we need to call it meditation or think of it as meditation, give it another name? Why not just call it understanding?
Tại vì bà A Chan có hỏi và cái sự hiểu biết của con cũng chỉ thế thôi ấy.
That was my understanding of the question that Ajahn asked. That's it.
In order for there to be any moment of awareness and understanding, there has to be meditation first.
Không.
No.
Okay. Good. That means that awareness and understanding can arise without meditation.
Vâng. Đây là cái thêm hiểu cho là sự hiểu biết. Đây là cái thêm của ngài ông Son đã bổ sung thêm để cái hiểu thêm về cái sự.
Tức là những gì ông nói thì đã giúp chú hiểu hơn đấy ạ. What you said had complemented his understanding.
So, can there be awareness and understanding of a conditioned Dhamma, such as what is seen, the visible object, or the sound that is heard now? Or do we have to go to another place first?
Thì lúc nãy là con đã có trả lời là trong từng khoảnh khắc và có duyên pháp xảy ra thì khi mình nhận biết được, chứ không phải là trong mọi lúc nào mà khoảnh khắc pháp và do duyên sinh ấy mà mình nhận biết được trong cái lúc khoảnh khắc đó thì đó là chánh niệm, chứ không phải là đến một cái nơi nào đó.
As I said earlier, any moment when we are aware of the conditioned Dhamma, that is the moment of awareness, of sati. We don't need to go anywhere.
And what or who is aware? Because you just said when we are aware of the Dhamma, can you or I be aware?
Không.
No.
Why not?
Vì không có ai à.
Because there's no one.
No one. All dhammas are anatta.
Do tâm sự nhận biết. Do tâm sự nhận biết. Do tâm có nhận biết chứ không phải do ai à.
Because the chitta is aware, no one is aware.
Right. Can we say sati? The mental factor sati is aware. It arises with chitta when there are conditions. So if there is the understanding of what dhammas are, what realities are, sati can arise and be aware of a reality now or at lunch or any time by conditions, but not by I trying to have it, not by I practicing to have it, because as you say, no I to do anything.
Đúng ạ.
That's right.
So very glad to find that we agree. So rather than use the word meditation, we can use the word bhavana in Pali. Bhavana actually means the development of understanding, but usually it's translated in every language as meditation, because So quickly people have the idea of an I that is aware, an I that should practice, an I that understands. But as our friend Hong just said, no I to do anything. So bhavana means the development of understanding, and this is the natural way of developing understanding. Life just exists in a moment now. If there's no understanding now, but we dream about later when I'm in the quiet temple, or when I don't have distractions and disturbances by all the people around, it's just a fantasy, because life is at this moment. So now there is seeing, now there is hearing, now there is thinking, now there is attachment. So this is the time for awareness with understanding to arise, if there has been the careful considering. The reason we keep saying awareness and understanding is because, as we discussed earlier, sati arises with all wholesome cittas. So at moments of kindness, at moments of giving, sati is there, but usually with no understanding. But when we're talking about bhavana, it has to be sati with understanding. Understanding is the first path factor. Without understanding, there cannot be any path. And when you mentioned that you checked according to the Satipatthana Sutta, it's quite easy for anyone to read the Satipatthana Sutta or any other sutta according to their own interpretation or experience, with the idea of I am walking, I am going, I am looking at a skeleton. But this is not the understanding of dhammas as anatta. So whatever we read, whatever we consider, has a much deeper meaning than the ordinary day-to-day meaning. Like I mentioned, every child knows when they're walking, when they're lifting their glass. But this is not the deep truth that the Buddha taught. So whatever we read has to be with the understanding that it's about dhammas, which are anatta, as Hong emphasized as well. So I'm very glad that we all agree that the understanding and awareness has to be now, because there's no other moment in life. There's only this moment. So no need to think about, I'll wait until I'm sitting quietly, or I'm in the room with no disturbance. It's like I putting it off, not understanding naturally now. And it will bring a lot of joy when there is the letting go of the idea of having to focus and concentrate and cut off more and more from daily life and cause difficulty in the family and think all the time about a quiet place or a special time. It's a big burden. So let the understanding develop naturally with confidence and joy. Would you like to say anything else, Hong?
Cảm ơn bà đã bổ sung thêm và làm sáng tỏ cho con cái sự hiểu biết.
Thank you for deepen my understanding and further clarify that. Yeah. Cảm ơn chú. And I was just thinking that, for people who try to do something like in meditation centers, I think that it takes away from our life, and there are a lot of difficulties to live life normally. because of that wrong practice, trying to focus on something, and it's
Life a lot more
right.
difficult.
And I'd like to come back to something I touched on briefly earlier when I said that meditation practice is not a normal activity. There's nothing actually pleasant about meditation practice unless you think you're making progress. And it's possible to follow a meditation practice and sit for long periods if one believes that it's going to bring results or it is bringing results. So it's motivated by a wish for a more kusala, in the case of samatha, more calm, or more understanding of realities, in the case of insight. And that's what keeps the meditator going on and on. And especially when the meditator's work and effort is being rewarded or confirmed by the instructor. But when you think about it, following an instruction is not associated with developing understanding, is it? Understanding has to come from one's own understanding. Of course, one has to have heard the Dhamma, but if you are familiar with the teaching, the suttas given by the Buddha, he did not give instructions to be followed. He described the world as it was, and he described the world as it was for the person who was developing or had attained jhana, as well as for the person who was a putujana, a worldling with no previous particular development. And as he was giving his teaching, the follower listened carefully and considered what was being said. And some became enlightened there and then, but many others did not. At the conclusion of the sutta, the Buddha didn't say, now go out and practice. He didn't instruct people what to do in any sense of the word. He simply explained the Dhamma, and it was for the person to consider that carefully and for that to be a factor in the development of their understanding. And it's the same for us today.
Just a little more about just one reality. Understanding understands what? We talk about understanding, and understanding understands what?
Đặc tính của các pháp.
It understands the characteristic of Dhamma.
Right now,
Cái đó thì con rất khó trả lời, tại vì lúc này con chưa có kinh nghiệm.
It's difficult for me to answer because at this moment I have no sati.
that's why we just talk about one reality at a time to understand just one word. Understanding understands what?
hiểu bản chất thực của pháp.
Cụ thể, the true nature of Dhamma.
Okay, what is that?
Cụ thể là gì ạ? Chú nói là bản chất thật của pháp thì cụ thể là pháp nào? Ví dụ như cái gì ạ?
Như là khi có sự giao duyên pháp xảy ra bằng khi có đối tượng xảy ra khi pháp giao duyên xảy ra và sự nhận biết bằng cái thấy nhìn, thì lúc đó mình nhìn được cái bản chất được của cái nhìn, chứ không phải là cái hình dáng hay là không phải là cái bàn, cái ghế hoặc là cái gì ạ.
Tức là ý của chú chẳng hạn như là cái thấy hay là đối tượng thị giác đấy ạ?
Vâng, đối tượng thị giác. Vâng, vâng.
For example, the true nature of visible object.
So now, if we go to meditation center, just to understand what?
Không hiểu được điều gì.
No understanding. No understanding, he said.
So why go? Why do anyone go?
Thì cái chuyện đó là của mọi người ạ.
So that is it's for the people who go to meditation center to answer.
What is that? No understanding at all. And the best reality in life is understanding. But there must be the object of understanding too. Not just understanding understands, but what is that understanding understand? To be truthful to the truth. From life to life, moment to moment, understanding understands what? No understanding, so going to meditation center.
Dạ, con xin phép ạ. Đến trung tâm thiền ấy, thì con nghĩ là ai cũng muốn là đến để học thiền, tìm hiểu về thiền. Còn như cô nói ngay trong khoảnh khắc này ấy, thì con nghe và con đấy là đối tượng nghe thì hiểu cái đối tượng nghe. Đấy. Và nếu đối tượng của mình là nhìn ấy, thì mình hiểu cái nhìn thấy cái gì.
So if the object is hearing, then we have to understand the hearing, and if the object is sound, you have to understand sound, and if it's the object it's seeing, you have to understand seeing.
Is there any way to understand it? Just one reality at a time. Is there any way to understand seeing right now or hearing right now?
Cách nào có chứ?
Vì cô nói là để hiểu những cái đó thì cách nào để hiểu về cái thấy và cái nghe ngay bây giờ? Cô nói là đối tượng, chẳng hạn như là nếu mà thấy là đối tượng, cái nghe là đối tượng hay là âm thanh là đối tượng thì hiểu cái đó, thì bà hỏi là có cách nào để hiểu?
Không có cách nào, con thấy là nghe để nghe mà.
She says no way, there's no way.
Did Buddha realize the truth of seeing? Without the way, can there be a moment of realizing the truth? And did Buddha teach about the Four Noble Truths. What are the four? Not the word, but the truth. The fourth Noble Truth is what? The path or the way which condition understanding to understand the truth gradually from hearing and considering until it condition moment of just directly understand with awareness of what is there now. Anything by conditions, no selection at all. Is that the way to realize the truth or the other way? And he taught the Noble Truth 3 rounds of each one. Otherwise, who can know what's the way to realize the truth? The first Noble Truth. What is there now arising and falling away in split seconds? So very subtle, but the truth is that can anyone change? But without understanding, even it now, saying is gone, no understanding of the moment when it's there and gone. Hearing, hears, no attention, no understanding of the truth. It's just a moment of conditioned reality to hear and then gone. And not just the truth now to be understood, but to realize the truth. Because if it's only just thinking, it cannot let go the idea of self, because I am thinking. That's why I understand that what is there now appearing is so very subtle, and it has to be understood gradually from the beginning, all for Noble Truth. That's why if there's no understanding of the path, a moment of understanding, little by little, will lead to more understanding, to realize the truth with direct understanding of what is there now appearing, only one at a time, to realize the moment of what is there now arises and falls away in split second. By then, no one there at all, only seeing and that which is seen, or hearing and the sound which is heard. But there are so many other realities just right now. That's why all can be understood or realized stage by stage. So now, can there be a moment of realizing the arising and falling away of seeing? Possible or impossible? Only by understanding. No matter how much we try with ignorance, it cannot understand what is there. Even the first round
She said
of
that
the Four Noble Truths.
she said that it's possible to understand the arising and passing away of seeing now.
Before seeing, is there seeing?
Thì không ạ.
And seeing sees and gone, is that right? Or it still see?
Dạ.
Yes,
It still see?
it's gone.
It's gone. Can it be realized when there is a little more understanding and letting go, the clinging to seeing as I see? Because there's no I, but there is the idea of there is I, for sure right now, right or wrong understanding. So the truth is there is not just only right understanding, there is also a reality which is wrong understanding as well, right? Seeing now arises, it's not directly experienced yet, but begin to understand the truth, whether seeing arise at will or out of the blue, or anyone makes it arise, little by little to let go the clinging to seeing. And that is the only way to realize the truth of seeing. When there is moment of understanding, seeing and hearing different realities, now they appear like all together. So no understanding of any reality when they are together, right? But when we consider just a moment of seeing, it experiences there is a reality, experiences what is seen right now. Without that which sees, what is seen cannot be seen at all, cannot appear to be seen, right? Is this true? So without conditions, can seeing arise? This is the moment to gradually let go. The idea of seeing is now sees all the time. But in truth, there must be the understanding stage by stage of the truth. When it's true, it's true. But it does not appear now because the understanding of it is so very little. So understanding what is that taken for I, the reality which experiences an object in life from birth, what is seen, what is heard by our reality which arises and experience it. Firm, confident, or just begin to understand that it's so true that no one can change at all. This is the beginning of enrooted the understanding of what is there as it is. No one seeing is seeing right now. But why there is not the moment of realizing it? Because no understanding enough of that which experience the object which is seen, the seeing itself. That's why there is citta, nupassana, satipatthana. Because the word for the reality which experiences the object which is seen is citta. We use the word citta or vijnana or mano or manasa, any word, to represent the reality which arises and experiences the object from birth to death. And they are conditioned to arise again, new life, next life. As soon as death moment has fallen away, it's there, next life or new life. Not this person anymore. So life of being this person is so short. And when there's no hearing and considering enough about what is there, how can there be moment of it's not anyone at all now? It's only that reality which arises and see and hear and smell and taste and touch and think. So learn to understand what is there. Through what doorway? At moment of considering what is heard, what doorway? Beginning to understand this moment a little more, get closer and closer to different moments which just arise by condition and then fall away instantly, followed by the next one instantly, so rapidly. That's why life does not appear as just one moment of that which arises and falls away, but the succession of the rapidity of experiencing is there from birth. That's why Buddha had to develop quite a long time to realize the truth, and he taught what he realized for the other to begin to understand the path, to understand the truth. So now, is it firm, confident of that which experiences the object from birth? How many doorways of experiencing what is there in life? Seeing has to be through the eye doorway, right? Seeing cannot hear,
Dạ.
so it's only the eye door. Without the eye, there cannot be seeing. No one can condition or can make seeing to arise without the eye base. Or even there is the eye, but nothing impinge on it. There is no seeing. What is there at the back is not seen because it's not impinged on the eye base. That's all. And gone instantly. Without the word of truth about whatever is there, it's impossible to begin to consider through what Dawei, moment of considering what Dawei. Without any understanding, how can there be letting go of the idea of something instantly or I all the time? So seeing has to be the idol through the idol, and hearing ear door, smelling nose door, and tasting tongue door, and touching body door. The other moment is through mind door. Even right now, in between the moment of seeing and hearing, unknown. Without careful considering, how can there be a little more understanding, which at that moment of understanding, it let go, the ignorance and attachment, so very gradually, unknowingly, how much, what is worn away, so very little at a time, comparing to the amount or the enormous accumulation of ignorance and attachment. That's why if Buddha didn't tell us about what is there after seeing, who knows that the I is there? I see. We don't have to say I see, but at that moment it's I who sees. In truth, nothing can be taken for I because it's just a moment of experiencing an object and then gone instantly to the end of this life. No more experiencing what is there in this world, but no matter what world would be the next world, the way to experience the objects has to be only 6 ways. And this life is the proof of the truth, whether there is another way besides 6 ways. And this is the understanding of the truth, gradually letting go ignorance and attachment to understand what is take for what it is. Sati, see, right understanding, considering, focusing, liking, disliking. What is there in life? It's taught by the enlightenment about the noble truth, the ultimate truth. Is this the first noble truth? Do we have to meditate? And what is meditate? Just think about meditate or meditation and think that is the understanding of meditation. But in truth, what is it? They are not only the reality which is the chief of experiencing, like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, and thinking. There are other realities, even it's not known at all, because no understanding of what is there experiences the object. Any moment when it arises, it experiences the object. So at moment of attachment, is there any reality which experiences the object? This moment, just learn to understand each different reality. There is not only the reality which arises just to experience the object, but there are other realities too. As we heard, sati, panya, lobha, dosa, moha, or roots. See, all about what is there in life. If there's no hearing about the truth of it, how can there be moment of begin to be interested to understand the truth of what is there? For now, there is seeing, no understanding of the truth of it, but hearing that it's there all the time in life, and no understanding of it. So the whole life is moment of ignorance, not understanding the truth of anything. But at moment of begin to understand what life is, to understand whether it's true or not, what is life. Without that which arises and experiences the object, can there be life? The tree, the cup, it has life or no life at all. So what is life? That which arises to experience the object. It means that if it does not arise, there can never be a moment of experiencing anything. The world cannot appear. But what we take for the world is whatever is there experienced. Does anyone see the world? Even just simple question, it can be moment of understanding, beginning to understand the truth. Without understanding what the world is, can there be the answer? Is there the world now? Does anyone know about the world? If there is a world, what is it?
For example, now, at a moment of hearing, just sound is heard. The sound is the world that appears only. The breath, all the other things we find important, the temple, our friends, just in a moment of thinking. But at the moment of hearing, just the world of hearing and the sound that is heard. And whilst thinking about the attainments and the breath and the temple, it's just the world of thinking at that moment, what is thought about, all these special experiences. It's just an idea that is thought about. So the development of understanding is for the purpose of getting closer and closer to understand what the reality is, what the world is now that is appearing. And Ajahn referred to the 3 rounds. The first round has to be the careful considering, the right intellectual understanding about these different dhammas. If we never heard that the world is just what appears now, we would think of the world as Vietnam and America and the temple and the road we took to come to Vung and so on. But the world is just the sound that is heard now. So there has to be the very careful considering about dhammas, the dhammas that experience an object and the dhammas that don't experience an object, in order to firmly understand that no self to be found, just different dhammas arising and falling away. But this is just the intellectual level. We can say now seeing arises and falls away, hearing arises and falls away, but it's not the direct understanding of the arising and falling away of seeing and hearing. It's just the right considering. But it is the right considering about different dhammas that conditions the direct understanding gradually of the different dhammas we've heard about and considered. But even then, even when there is direct understanding of sound, even when there is the beginning of the development of Satipatthana, still no direct understanding of the arising and falling away of sound, because this is higher understanding. The third round, the realization of dhammas at moments of vipassana jnana and enlightenment. So many people would like to just practice and just realize the arising and falling away of realities and have particular experiences, but without understanding now about what is Dhamma, not I am doing something. There can never be the direct understanding. There can never be the higher understanding. So this is why we discuss and consider about dhammas and why the Buddha taught about them for so long, because there has to be a lot of hearing and considering about life now. What is life at this moment? What is the world now? In order to very gradually let go of the idea of I doing something, I practicing, I focusing, I having special attainments, because it's all a fantasy. Most of the day, it's a fantasy world, the thinking about different dreams and ideas, but not the understanding of the truth.
So again, understanding understands what?
Bà hỏi lại cái câu vừa nãy bà cũng đã hỏi chú Hùng là trí tuệ hay cái hiểu thì hiểu cái gì ạ? Hay là đối tượng của chánh kiến, đối tượng của trí tuệ, đối tượng của cái hiểu là gì ạ?
Đấy, con thấy cái hiểu là cái sự
Như những gì vừa rồi cô đã được nghe giảng thì cô hiểu là đối tượng của trí tuệ phải là gì ạ?
mình đối tượng của trí tuệ đấy thì con nghĩ là có sự suy xét mà
Trí tuệ hiểu cái gì ạ? Cái hiểu cái gì? Mình không thể bảo là đúng không ạ? Cái hiểu cái gì? Câu hỏi là như vậy ạ.
hiểu về Dhamma
Là Dhamma đấy ạ. Dhamma.
Word.
Vẫn là cái từ này. Cụ thể là gì ạ?
Okay, it understands Dhamma, but what is Dhamma that it understood? What is Dhamma?
con hiểu thế, qua vừa rồi thì con hiểu ra là có cái trong pháp đấy thì là nói về duyên khởi.
Cô nghe kỹ câu hỏi nhé. Cô nghe kỹ câu hỏi. Tại vì cô trả lời là trí tuệ hay là cái hiểu nó hiểu pháp Dhamma, thì Achan hỏi cô là pháp là gì? Đó. Thì bây giờ cái định nghĩa pháp là gì là câu trả lời cô cần đưa ra. Cô không biết ạ. I don't know the definition. The lady would like to answer.
Now.
Thưa bà, giống là con hiểu thử là con nói thì có đúng hay không. Đó là pháp, đó chính là cái sự hoạt động của 6 căn khi tiếp xúc với 6 trần.
Tức là 6 căn tiếp xúc 6 trần à?
Dạ, cái hoạt động của 6 căn khi tiếp xúc với 6 trần. Theo con hiểu như vậy.
She said that she's not sure whether her understanding is correct, but she would like to give her answer that the Dhammas is the working of the six doorways, and in contact with the objects of the 6 doorways.
We remember the word, but what about the understanding? For example, what is there now?
She said, now I'm listening to you, so there is sound impinging on the ear sense.
And what is the sound?
Dạ, âm thanh trần ạ, pháp trần.
It's the aramana, the object of the ear door, she said.
Long story about the sound.
Yeah.
It's just that which is heard, is that right? Only that, no matter when and where, it's that which is heard and then gone.
Yeah.
Is there sound now?
Hiện tại bây giờ khi mà bà không nói thì âm thanh đã chuyển qua rồi. Âm thanh đã đi qua
hiện
rồi.
Giờ có âm thanh không ạ? Hiện giờ có âm thanh không ạ?
Ngay bây giờ là không.
No, right now no, she said.
When there is condition for sound to arise, does it arise?
Khi có duyên thì âm thanh sẽ sinh khởi.
Yes, when there are conditions, sound will arise.
That's why in truth there are so many things now arising and falling away, not just sound, right? But whether sound is heard or not is another thing. Without that which hears, can the sound be heard?
Yeah. Dạ không.
Not at all. Is sound that which experience sound?
Nếu không.
Is sound that which experience sound? So, what is that which experiences sound? What is that?
Đó là qua cái căn, qua cái ý thức.
Cái kinh nghiệm âm thanh là cái gì ạ? Cái gì là cái
qua
kinh
cái
nghiệm
căn,
âm thanh?
cái căn tất nhiên là nhĩ căn, rồi qua nó chuyển qua nhĩ thức thì nó mới có thể hiểu được, biết được.
So based on the ear sense, the ear consciousness experiences sound.
So when it's ear consciousness, it has to be only ear consciousness or the consciousness which experiences a sound? No one. So it's not you or anyone who hears. Is that true?
Dạ không có người Nga, chỉ có cái thức biết, cái thức nhận biết.
No one who hear only the mind that knows, or the consciousness that knows.
So no one at all here, right?
Vâng ạ.
Okay. Who's this? Who's this?
Đó là một tổng hợp của một cái sắc. Đây là con thấy là cái sắc.
It's a collection of rupas.
Idea or it's seen?
Cái được thấy qua cái sắc, nó tiếp xúc với cái nhãn căn.
Are you saying I'm just a collection of rupas?
Sorry. Bởi vì cái sắc này thì có một cái danh, nếu mà tôi thấy thì tôi chỉ thấy cái sắc thôi.
Yes, but what appears through seeing is only rupa. But of course, there is nama. What is you?
So what is there now?
Con chưa hiểu. No, understand. Don't understand.
She doesn't understand the question very well, or she doesn't understand how to answer.
Is there this moment?
Câu hỏi của bà là có khoảnh khắc này không? Và câu trước đó của bà là có cái gì bây giờ không? Ở đây là bà đang nói về pháp, về sự thật, chứ không phải là nói về những thứ mình vẫn biết trong đời sống. Thì câu hỏi của bà là có cái gì bây giờ không? Hay là có khoảnh khắc này không?
Con hơi khó trả lời, bởi vì là con nghĩ là khoảnh khắc thì luôn luôn trôi đi, và mình không thể dừng lại được. Đó, và ngay cả cái tư tưởng hoặc cái suy nghĩ của mình nó cũng là nó trôi đi luôn thôi.
She said that it's a little difficult to answer to that question because every moment is gone, one after another. And even if there's thinking now, it's gone as well.
Is a moment real?
Ngay lúc bấy giờ thì nó là thực, còn một chút là nó trôi qua là hết rồi.
Right at that moment, it's real, but then it's gone immediately.
It doesn't matter. But what is that in a moment, just one moment at a time?
Cái ở trong một khoảnh khắc, một thời điểm thì theo con nghĩ có thể đó là cái thực. Ví dụ như con nhìn thấy khoảnh khắc một cái hoa chẳng hạn, con nhìn cái khoảnh khắc đó thì con thấy đó là thật, nhưng mà rồi nó sẽ trôi qua.
Yes, at that very moment, it's real, but it's gone. Like if I see the flowers, then it's there, but then the seeing is gone.
So what is there in a moment, from moment to moment?
Luôn luôn có cái sự thay đổi, mà nó cũng có thể là có một cái sự cái kết nối liên tục nó thôi, sự dòng chảy liên tục mà thôi.
That's the stream, but she doesn't say the stream of what, but that's a continuous happening.
Is there any reality in a moment? In a moment, is there any reality?
Trong một khoảnh khắc có thực tại hay không? Bà hỏi. Dạ. Trong một khoảnh khắc hiện tại thì có cái thực tại đó.
What is there at birth?
Khoảnh khắc của sinh thì có gì ở đó?
Dạ.
Dạ. Thì tất nhiên là nó khoảnh khắc của sinh ra thì nó sẽ diệt đi thôi.
Nhưng mà có cái gì nếu mà cô bảo nó diệt đi thì cái gì diệt đi ạ? Nó phải là một cái gì đúng không ạ? Cô bảo nó diệt đi thì cái mà cô nói diệt đi đó nó là cái gì?
Ấy là phải có một cái đối tượng.
Không, tức là cô nói diệt đi thì rõ ràng phải cái mà mình bảo nó diệt đi đó là cái gì ạ?
Chắc cô không có đủ từ ngữ, không có đủ từ ngữ để diễn tả được.
She says she has not enough words to explain.
At birth, is there a chitta, the first chitta of life, the first moment of experiencing at that moment?
Khi bắt đầu kiếp sống vẫn có cái tâm cùng với cái sắc, và xong đó thì nó sẽ thay đổi dần, thay đổi.
There has been
Luôn thay đổi.
a chitta at the moment.
And after that chitta falls away, because every reality falls away, is it followed by another chitta and another chitta and another chitta? Can we say at every moment now, at every moment in life, there is a chitta arising, experiencing its object and falling away?
Và tâm diệt. Yeah.
Yes. So at this moment,
Thank you.
seeing is a chitta, hearing is a chitta, thinking is a chitta. As you said, each one falls away, so it's hard to know what is there now. But we can know for sure there is chitta now, experiencing the object, no matter it's seeing or hearing or thinking. So always chitta, accompanied by cetasikas, experiencing the object at every moment in life. Never any I to be found.
Con rất là cảm ơn, con cũng hiểu cái điều đó. Nhưng mà vì bản thân con là không có học vi diệu pháp, nên không hiểu rõ được những cái tâm sở. Nhưng mà con hiểu được những cái... Con rất cảm ơn bà.
Thank you very much. I had a vague idea about that, but because I haven't studied the Abhidhamma yet, so I don't know about terms such as cetasikas and so on. Thank you for helping me.
And we just learn about these realities, the moments of consciousness. The chitta is the leader in experiencing the object. Sees the object experienced, and the cetasikas arise with it to perform their functions like contacting and focusing and so on. And we just learn about them, not to learn more Pali terms, but just to understand never anyone there to focus, to be aware, to watch what is going on. Just different chittas conditioned at each moment are falling away so rapidly, so impossible to catch chitta or focus on it because it's all gone already. Maybe we should have a pause.
Yes. Và bây giờ cũng đã hết giờ buổi chiều nay. Chúng ta sẽ tạm dừng buổi pháp đàm ở đây, và ngày mai buổi sáng lại bắt đầu vào lúc 9:30 ạ. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Ajahn, John and Sarah. Very good discussion, isn't it?
Thank you to all the good questions.
Dạ vâng, và cũng cảm ơn tất cả những cái